Yes, investigators are still searching for a motive after a gunman opened fire at a high school in Santa Fe, Texas, killing 10 people on Friday. Police say the suspected shooter, Dimitrios Pargorchis, admitted to the shooting while in custody. Vigils were held across the state to pay tribute to the victims. It was the nation's deadliest attack since the massacre in Parkland, Florida, that gave rise to a campaign by teens for more gun control. Texas Governor Greg Abbott pledged to work to bring things back to normal.
We're going to be here every day until we ensure that Santa Fe Independent School District and this school are put back in place and normalcy is returned to your schools and safety is returned to your schools.
Omar Villafranca is outside Santa Fe School right now. Omar, what have we learned about the victims and the injured?
Well, Don, we learned that, of course, most of the victims were students that were in a first period art class. One of them being a girl by the name of Sabika Sheikh, and she was a foreign exchange student from Pakistan here in the United States just to take in a little bit of the culture and to learn here in the U.S., and she was killed in that classroom. We're also learning that there was a school resource officer who was injured. His name is John Barnes, and he did interact and confront the shooter. From what we understand, he is a retired Houston police officer now working here in Santa Fe with the school district. He is injured. He's expected to be okay. It's going to be a long recovery, but that's just daily we're learning a little bit more about the people who were killed and the people who were injured.
We know that the suspected shooter has appeared in court. What have officials said about how he carried out the shooting?
First of all, in that court appearance, we watched it yesterday. He was very quiet. He was not saying anything. He did ask for an attorney. Now, as far as what actually happened in the classrooms behind me here, apparently he walked in, he was wearing a trench coat, a Born to Kill shirt, and before he started shooting, he yelled, "Surprise!" And that's when the shooting started. He was armed with a shotgun and a .38 caliber pistol. He was not old enough to own either of those weapons. Investigators are telling us they belong to his father, and they're talking to his father to find out when he knew those weapons were missing. But he has to be 18 to own that shotgun. He was not. He's 17. Has to be 21 to own that handgun. He was 17, so he couldn't have legally owned it. That's part of the questions. As part of the shooting spree happened, and when he talked to police about how it was going down, he said that he spared people that he liked, that he had some sort of relationship with. And to use his words, he spared them because he wanted his story to get out. Exactly what he wanted to get out, we're not sure, but we're learning a little bit more about this.
Omar, have you heard anything about the circumstances surrounding when he was taken into custody? Did he run out of ammunition? Did he just give up when he saw the police officers?
What was interesting is that Governor Greg Abbott said that he was talking about this in journals and on his phone before about how he wanted to commit the shooting and then commit suicide. But when confronted by the police, he did not commit suicide. He basically said he was scared. He was too scared to commit suicide, and he gave up. We're not sure if he ran out of ammo or if they tackled him or confronted him or how, but he was taken in alive, and he's in the Galveston County Jail.
Wow. The Santa Fe School District says it will be closed Monday and Tuesday. What else is the city doing to support these students who are obviously so traumatized?
Well, there's going to be counselors that are going to be in and around the area for students. So this is a church area, so there's going to be a lot of churches that are involved in helping people as well. And one thing worth noting, when the shooting happened yesterday morning, all the other schools in the Santa Fe ISD were still in session, and they kept a normal schedule. Even nearby Dickinson, they kept on going through with class. But they're canceling school in Santa Fe ISD because somebody may have, a brother or sister who's here, and then you have another kid who's in junior high. So they're canceling school so the families can be with each other and process this. And keep in mind, Don, we're right on the edge of summer. These kids only have a few more days and possibly weeks of school left before they either graduate or they start their summer vacation. So they're going to need that time and some help so they can talk with each other and talk with professionals to kind of process through this, if they can.
Yeah, very true. All right, Omar Villafranca, thanks so much. For more now, thanks, I'm joined by CBS News security analyst Paul Viollis. Police say they don't have a motive for the shooting. What form of investigation? How are they going to find that out, other than, I guess, just talking to the suspect?
Forensics, Don. And really what they're doing right now is threefold. They've secured search warrants, so they've got the home, which means they have the computer and they have his phone. They're going to dump the phone to see who he's called, who he texted. They're going to look at his computer, see websites that he researched, and anybody he may have spoken to or collaborated with regarding this event. That's primarily. Now, secondarily, what's going to happen is they're lining up a list of students, teachers, that they can interview that knew him, that had knowledge of him, as well as community members, neighbors, family members, etc. What they're going to look for is a benchmark. His behavior was X. When did it start changing? So one of the things that we know that's already been revealed that we discussed yesterday is the fact that he wore a trench coat almost every day to school. Now, Don, it's Houston. It's 85 degrees.
Right.
He's wearing a trench coat. Is this not a red flag?
Yeah. The Columbine killers wore trench coats.
Exactly. And what we're learning, we talked about this off camera, what we're learning is that people like this kid, this demographic, they are learning and studying other school shootings so they can, quote unquote, get their message out. They want to be heard. This is a quintessential part of the core of the violence continuum that we're seeing with shooters like this. They want to be heard. They're not being heard. They want to be listened to. And they're taking this as their message.
Another similarity, Governor Abbott said that bombs, explosive devices were found. What does that signify about this suspect?
Angry. Now, again, and I guess some people in some of our views will say, well, of course people are angry when they shoot people. That's true. But myopically, when you drill down on this particular type of offense, he chose a shotgun. Now, maybe there were other weapons he could have chose. Shotgun is up close. It's like a stabbing. It's up close. It's angry. There's disdain behind that. It's not set back. Also, what we can learn about him, especially about the planning stages of this, with regards to the mass casualties he's looking for, is a broad stroke. It wasn't so much there were just a number of people, like he picked the art class, but it was more people that he blamed a community for his lot in life, which hence is the explanation for the ordinances that he was spreading out around campus.
And he wanted the attention, you said.
No question he wanted the attention, and he's getting it.
And where does the investigation go right now? I assume to try to see if anybody knew about this in advance?
Absolutely. They're going to make sure, police are going to make sure forensically that he didn't communicate with anybody to collaborate on especially the building of these types of IEDs. Where did he learn this? It begs the question, did he learn this off the internet? Did someone teach him? Don, he's 17 years old. He's living in a house with his parents. There are questions here that we need to answer with respect to the genesis of this planning and who knew about it, if anybody, and what was seen in the changes of that behavior prior to
yesterday. There's one thing to learn about it, it's that if you hear anything like this, take it seriously, even if you can't believe that person's capable of doing this.
There's no question about that, Tom.
Paul Viollis, thank you so much.